what's going on, everybody?
What's going on, people?
It's the Double Chin Show coming at you live from our global headquarters somewhere in New York.
I like that. Yeah. I like that.
So today's topic is dating. Differences between Asians dating and Westerners dating.
Yeah, and there are major differences. Major differences. The one that stands out to me the most is the way you obtain the date. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Right. What I'm saying is, what do you think? What do you think I'm referring to?
Well, come on. Like, Asians are inherently pretty shy people, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is something I kind of like when I moved to the U.S.
Yeah.
And I lived in China, I lived in the U.S. I moved to the U.S. and this is something that actually I feel like the Westerners, they have it down way better than the Asians do.
Yep.
Like Asians, like we talked a lot about this before, the whole Bell Buy thing. You guys seen our video on Off the Great Wall. Asians will like a girl and just like a girl.
They just won't say
like
anything.
Let's say a guy, right? Yeah. Or a girl. They just like each other and you'll never know for like years.
For years.
And then like you're about to like depart forever, then you tell the other person just in case. You're like, got nothing to lose, they're leaving. I'm gonna tell them, and then if they say yes, I'm gonna be like, yo, I wish I told you earlier. Or like they say no, you're like, never gonna see you again. I don't get hurt. Right. That's kind of like how Asians are.
Right. So how that translates to obtaining the date in the modern times, right? Westerners, if you see a girl that you're interested in, almost instantaneously, maybe you and I, we're like this. We decide maybe in a minute if we want to kind of go on a date with them.
Sure.
And then what do? You ask them.
Yep.
Hey, what? You have your style, I have my style. That's different. But generally, you'll be like, I'm not saying this is how you do it, but you'll be like, hey, what's up? Want to go on a date? You know what I mean.
That's not how I do it.
That's not how you do it. That's not how you do it?
That's how do you... What? Who does it like that?
I don't know. I think no, but right, you just do it. You just do it because you got to ask them. But in the East, right? To me, usually in modern times, the friend will make an introduction. So that's the major number one difference.
Okay.
Do you agree with that?
Well, I think there's a couple ways.
Okay.
One is the over-the-top dramatic Bell Buy, which is like
yeah.
love confession. Like you'll see anime, like girl will hand a letter to a guy and run away or whatever. Meet me on Sunset by the slides.
Right.
Or you get introduced by your parents, relative, friends. It's called a 介绍. And that's how like most of our parents kind of met each other.
Okay, what you're referring to me is more the overall part of courtship.
Right.
Okay, so I guess more specifically now, getting the date, like obtaining that coveted date, right? So what I've seen now a lot of young Asians, whether you're from overseas or you were born here, usually, let's say you go to NYU, you go to all these schools, there's a lot of Asian people in New York, right? What I've seen a lot is they're interested in each other and they will get their best friend or their friend to let the guy's friend know that they're interested.
Who are the Asians?
Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think that's progressed a little bit.
You
this day
think
and
so?
age. I think so.
Oh, okay.
I think people who are going to school here, like they're more westernized. The Asians that are here, they do a little more
I know what you mean.
like more direct.
I know what you mean, but I'm not gonna name names, but a lot of people I work with, that's still how they do.
Sure. Like in China, still like when we did it back then, and I think still now is like, you're my friend. Go find out for me if this girl likes me.
Exactly.
If I'm her friend or whatever. That's still a way to do it.
Yeah.
So obtaining the date is the first step.
Right.
What about the actual dating process?
Okay. So again, big differences. So number one was how does people even go obtaining the date?
Right.
Now she's agreed.
Okay.
Whether you gone up to her directly or her friend was like, yeah, he likes you.
Yeah.
He wants to go out with you.
Yep.
Major differences. In the West, the first date already, the guy and the girl, they're alone together.
Sure.
Okay? They go out. First date maybe is usually a coffee.
Okay.
Or a light dinner.
Yeah.
You don't do full on dinner. You just get to know each other. Ask each other some questions.
Sure, you get to know each other.
Okay. In the East, I think the first date is never a date. It's always some kind of group hangout involving the two people that are interested.
Okay.
And multiple of their friends. Because to me, and this is not for everybody out there, but what I've seen is typically they'll try to get like a group together, maybe go bowling, go karaoke, right? But then maybe the second date, it's still a group, but it's more close knit. Like for example, it would be like you'd be like, Dan, I'm gonna bring you one. It'd be a double date, and then the person you're interested would bring like maybe her best friend, and it's kind of like now it's a group date in a smaller setting, so there's not that much pressure.
Okay, I do agree with that. This was kind of the case, like for my first day back in China.
Okay.
We all went to like a flower garden with
Like how many people?
like it was like 8 people, and we all went to and she was like, it was her idea. She was like, she was so shy. She was like, I got some tickets for you for this flower thing. And you know, it's not just for you though. And then they're like, so we all kind of went to this flower show together, and then we talked a little bit. Actually, when I was in China, we were actually never alone. We were never alone. Even throughout our like months of, it was just kind of like, because it was kind of awkward. We're pretty young too. I think nowadays it's different.
Yeah.
Nowadays, when you're older, especially in college, where you're grown up, you get set up. Okay, you get set up. I was actually set up on a date a few years ago here by my mom's friend.
Oh yeah, you told me about that one.
And she came with me on the date.
Your mom.
My mom's friend,
Mother.
my auntie came with us on the date.
Wait, so you, the girl,
and the auntie,
and the girl's mother.
No.
Oh,
the auntie,
the
my mom's friend. Yes.
Yeah. And your mom.
No.
Oh,
just my auntie.
Oh, so you got this like auntie there.
Yep, she's there,
hovering over you guys.
She's hovering.
Like wait, how do you guys even sit? Like you and the auntie.
It was me and the auntie and the girl across from me.
And like, so like, how do you even do that? Like,
you don't.
How
do
do
that.
you do that?
Don't. It's not a thing. Okay. It's not something that should be done. I'm just saying I went through that, and it's not something that should ever be done again.
I feel pity on you.
It wasn't okay. It wasn't a date I really wanted to go on anyway, so I didn't really care. Otherwise, I would care. If it was something I really cared about, like, come on, I don't want like an auntie like pouring you soy sauce or something like.
Well, did she? Was she like? Yeah. Was she doing that? Was she like, do you know what'd be the worst? If she started telling you what to do? Like,
no. You know what's worse than that?
What's worse than that?
She's like trying to talk you up.
That's
to
not
each other.
That's
no,
not,
she's like,
that could be all right. That could be all right.
It makes everybody uncomfortable. It makes everybody uncomfortable.
Depends how she does it. If she's like, Micah is very muscular man. Like, that's not that bad.
That's uncomfortable because, like, obviously I am, and I don't need to tell the girl that. It's kind of like, why are you telling her something
the
that's
other
pretty
person?
Apparent? Dude, she sees me already. She knows who I am. You don't need to go and tell them. Like, that's the mystery of dating, is like trying to find out more about each other on your own, right?
Right. I agree. Okay, so kind of going back, so you've got the group in the Asian way. It's more like they're trying to protect themselves.
Right.
This is what I find really funny. You're clearly interested in the other person.
Sure.
So, but you have other people there because it's kind of like, oh, am I still? It's kind of unclear.
Sure.
In the Western, clear from the first moment. Clear. Hey, I'm interested in you.
I'm going to tell you something else that the dating is different between Asians and Western. Western dating is very much about a lot of flattery. It's a lot about telling the other person your feelings. For example, like your date, let's say, your first date, whatever. The guy will come up to the girl and be like, hey, you look really beautiful tonight.
Sure.
Here's some flowers, you look really beautiful tonight. And then like throughout the night, just be like, I love your smile. Like, you smell really nice tonight. This dress looks really beautiful on you. You will never hear that when Asians date. Like the first couple of dates, you won't hear that.
Yeah,
Dude, you don't go up. Dude, nobody says that when the Asians date. When the Asians date, they're just kind of like, so
it's not,
how's your food?
Yeah.
Does that taste good? Does that taste good for you? You want more like hot sauce on that?
It's hard. It's hard for Asians to communicate. It is. And of course, like second generation, like people that are growing up here, it's definitely different.
Different, yes.
But there's still so many new immigrants, also immigrants that came here maybe when they were 6, 7, 8, 9, and they grew up here, but they still kind of have like us. We've both cultures.
Right.
Right. But for the dating part, I think me and you are more Western.
Yes.
Right.
And also, what the Asians talk a lot about, especially this day and age, we're not talking about people who are kind of westernized like us.
Yeah.
But like traditional Asians, they also talk a lot about practicality.
Yeah.
They talk about
Absolutely.
because like I was I'm not gonna say that story actually.
You tell me that later. What you're gonna say? All right.
So for example, like they actually talk about like, okay, not maybe on the first date, but maybe
Yeah.
going down the road.
But
like,
you know it's coming up.
You know it's coming up.
Yeah.
You're gonna talk about like, okay, income. You're gonna talk about where we're gonna live. Like, you know, in terms of, are we a match?
Yeah.
Can we, you know, are we a match financially? Are we a match from a background wise?
Yeah. So in other words, what I'm hearing you say is Asians a lot of times they're trying to match their not just their personality.
Right.
That's almost secondary. The first part is the background and
Well, I wouldn't say that's secondary, but it's important.
It's really
like in the Western dating world. Okay, maybe New York is an exception.
Yeah.
But most places is more about love and feelings. It's
Yes.
okay, I love you, blah, and then so.
in other words, they value the love and the feelings more.
And usually you never like when you're dating. Do you ever talk about income, like in the West?
Not. I mean,
But if you're dating in the East, especially if you are 相亲,
Yeah.
which means that you are basically meeting a person for marriage,
Right.
that's what you talk about.
Yeah.
You talk about income,
Right.
you talk about possessions.
I mean, I don't think I've ever had a conversation in the first 5, 10 dates like how much money do you make?
Yeah. Yo,
Never.
this is first date stuff for a lot of Asian dates. At least in China, this is definitely the case.
Yeah.
When you're 相亲, you're meeting someone for the purpose of marriage, you talk about this stuff. How much do you make? How many? Do you have a car? Do you have a house? Where do you live? Where do you want to live? Sure, would you be willing to move? This is the stuff, practical stuff. Because if that's not fitting, then like,
Forget it.
Why?
I don't care. It's like I don't care how beautiful you are or how much fun we have together. I'm reminded of a story you told me about like some Chinese people that you know, and they're on say dating websites or whatever, and they would literally get messages like how much before they even go on a date.
Yep.
Message is
Yep.
how much money do you make?
Yep.
On a message.
Do you have a good job? How much do you make on a job?
Okay, so contrast that. Now, a lot of my close friends when I was growing up, they're married now. Guess how they met? Dating websites.
Yes.
OkCupid,
Sure.
Match.com.
Sure.
Same thing as the Chinese websites. But the difference is, you know what their messages say? Funny little jokes.
Yeah.
They're like trying to make the other person laugh.
Yeah.
Trying to break the ice. Huge differences, right? I mean, wow. So, anyways, also in terms of like the pacing, for Westerners, when they date,
They want to take their time. They want to get to know the person.
it's always casual dating. Always. Day one, casual.
Yeah.
Because they can have and when somebody says, "Oh, I'm dating right now," it means that they're going on like I know girls here that go on that they're notorious daters.
Right. And not saying that's a good thing.
That's
I think like definitely in the West it's more common to be like I'm just dating around,
Right.
or whatever. In the East, Asians, not saying Asians never date around,
Correct.
But I'm just saying mostly when Asians do date, it's more about okay, I'm dating to get married. I'm
Yes.
pursuing a serious relationship ever since day one. Like ever since day one, some Asians don't date till they're in their 20s because it's like okay, you're not allowed to date in high school. The parents, that's what the parents are saying. You're not allowed to date in college. So after college, you're 22.
Yep.
Now you can go date. And then not a lot, but some Asians they don't start dating till then. And when they date, they're looking for a partner.
Right.
Because their parents, again, a lot of this is dictated by the parents of the Asians. Their parents want kids. Their parents want them to be married.
Right.
So the timetable is different. You know, a lot of Westerners when they're dating, it's kind of like let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens. I want to keep my options open.
Yeah, and then also like even when you're exclusive, you can be like, there's no hurry to get married. It's like let's date for like a few years. Let's be engaged for a few years.
Right.
Then
I
we
got
can
my
think-
career. You got your
Right.
career. Yeah.
In the Asian world is more like okay, we're dating to get married.
Right.
So get serious.
Yeah. So I think there's good and bad about both. I think, but here's the thing: we live in a modern world now. So now you've got all these different distractions, all these different options available to you now. So I feel like you got to kind of adapt to the times while maintaining your values of old. you know?
I prefer the Asian ways in terms of because I don't do casual dating. I date to eventually marry somebody.
Right.
But I also don't like a lot of the pressure,
Right.
especially from the parents. Like a lot of the girls, a lot of the girls when they reach 27, 28 in China,
Yeah.
they're on a clock.
Yep.
They're like, I need to get married within a year. like literally like have a timeline because 27 is leftover women age already in China, right?
Yeah.
So they're like I want to get to know you, but we need to kind of hurry this thing up. In the West, like especially in New York,
27, you're like a baby.
you're
You're a baby. Seriously, like women in their 40s have their first kids in New York City. We see that all the time. They're in their
not that I approve because I think New York is a little too slow sometimes.
Right.
But you know, in the Midwest, for example, all my friends who are white, they're on their like third kid now because you know, high school marriage kids or college marriage kids. That's how you do it.
So, I mean, we're giving you guys a lot of differences. I mean, there's definitely more differences as well. I think, but overall, like, I would ask you, okay, I think we kind of talked about this before, but to sum it up, like, I prefer the Western way over the Asian way.
Okay.
However, I prefer the Asian values of non-casual dating.
Right.
So I think that within these two systems, there's actually a third hybrid system that works that I strive to be.
Okay.
Right? Like be clear, be open, you know, get to know each other, but also date to get married.
Sure. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. All right, guys, let us know your thoughts on this topic in the comments below. All right, on to our advice segmenta.
More dating stuff.
We're gonna go on the
man.
motif of dating.
Oh man.
Continue on, and we're gonna talk about first dates.
First dates.
We've talked about the perfect date before. Now we're gonna talk about the first date.
The first date.
Right. So we're gonna give you guys some advice on how to handle your first date.
Right. I'm gonna comment more about like assuming that we're in the Western world and you know the date was obtained like you see somebody, you go up to them, you're like, hey, let's take you out sometime. Not like that,
Not
but
like
you know.
that.
And they do it.
Then you
so
probably won't get a date like that.
Right. I know what you're gonna say, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I will not do this, and Mike will do this. I'm not bringing flowers to the door on the first date.
How dare you?
You were gonna bring flowers, aren't you?
Of course you bring flowers on the first date.
That's disagreement number one.
Oh my God.
Guys, if you're Team Dan right now, listen to what I have to tell you. Okay, wait, first, we're talking about a girl that, it's not like you've known her for that long, right?
Well, you don't know. In
no,
general.
In general.
I don't care. Okay, you could have just met her a week ago.
Yeah.
Fine.
Okay, let's assume
You're not going to bring flowers.
on the first date? Mike, let me ask you a question. Do you want a second date?
Let me ask you a question. Do girls like flowers?
Oh man, this is fundamental. Okay, man, you know me. I love flowers. I buy my girlfriend flowers all the time. I even trim the flowers. I arrange the flowers.
Here is what I think you're coming from. You're gaming it too much in your head. Like for me, I'm just acting on like what I think I should be doing and what the girls like. Girls like flowers. I want to give them flowers. Why am I going to be like, I think third date for flowers. That's strategy. Like I'm going to wait till 2 days until I, get a number to call her. That's kind of like the same thing. I think the girls appreciate flowers. I'm going to bring them flowers on the first date. I'm not going to bring them like a dozen long-stemmed roses. I'll bring them like, I'll bring them like a lily or a daisy, whatever they like, whatever. So maybe I'll find out flowers they like. I don't know. I'm going to bring them like a simple one-stem rose maybe. I don't know. Something like that.
I'm going to tell you why I don't do that.
Okay, why don't you do it?
It's not that I don't like to give girls flowers. It's a practical thing, okay? Here's what I'm talking about. I'm assuming it's not 1950 and I'm picking you up at your house in my Chevy.
You're not picking her up.
No.
You're not picking the girl up? Are you out of your mind?
Mike, you know we live in New York, right? This is not the Midwest.
We're giving advice in first dates in general. You're not picking the girl up.
We're coming from two different, I'm talking about, I'm imagining we're dating in the city. We're meeting at a coffee shop.
I'm giving you first date advice in general.
In general. All right, guys. All right. I'm going to play your thing. All right. I'm going to pretend that I live in the Midwest.
You're not going to pick the girl up.
If that's the case, of course I'm picking the girl up.
Okay.
If this is hard to give advice on. So I'm going to be in your mode.
Sure.
Let's say we're both living like Connecticut or whatever, because you in the Midwest.
Okay.
I love New England.
Okay.
So
are you giving flowers now on the first date?
Now, am I giving flowers? No.
Okay.
I'm not
Team
doing
Mike, Team
I'm
Dan,
not doing
flowers,
it.
no
I'll
flowers.
pick. Of course,
flowers, no.
Of course, I'm gonna pick them up. If we're living in a rural
Okay,
area,
you're gonna pick
in
them up.
general,
Okay.
I'm picking them
Okay.
up. Not even rural. Like if we lived in Southern California.
Okay, fine.
Let's say not New York. Throw New York
Okay.
out. I'm picking you up.
Okay.
Of course I am. Not with flowers. Because I don't know you yet. This is what I'm trying to get to.
But you know all girls like flowers.
But it's too much. That's my point.
one-
It's too much on the first date. Too much on the first date.
It's a
All right.
flower. It's a nice gesture.
All right, fine. Let's move beyond. Let's
Okay,
move
fine,
beyond. Let's
fine.
move beyond.
Then what do you do?
All right. All right. So what?
First date etiquette. Here's what comes next.
Okay.
All right? Open the door for her.
Of course. Totally agree with that. Be a gentleman.
All night.
Be a gentleman. You got to do it. We agree on this. It's just I can't agree with the flowers
Whatever.
thing. All right.
Open the door out for her. Secondly, pull
Yeah.
the chair out for her.
Pull the chair out for her. Yeah, you're at a restaurant. Okay, now we're assuming you're going to a restaurant because we're like middle America.
Yeah.
It's not like New York. You just meet for a coffee, see you later, casual. This is the first date where you ask somebody out. Okay, I agree. Pull the chair out. Do you order food for her?
No.
Because you don't
Do
think
not order food for her.
yeah, you don't think like I'm gonna order for you.
You don't know what she wants.
I
She
agree
could
with
be
you.
allergic to something.
Well, you would ask her, are you allergic to anything? You would say, do you
right,
mind if
all
I
right.
ordered for you?
It depends.
Yeah.
If we're going to a really awesome Chinese place that I know better than
Right,
her,
right.
then I'll be like, if you trust me, I'll take care of this.
Right.
And
Okay,
it's like a joke.
okay.
If she says, oh, I want to order my own thing, oh, fine, that's fine.
I guess the point I'm trying to point at is I think the guy should be assertive. Like
Oh, wait, you would order for the girl.
no. I mean I'm not being like, hey, I'm gonna order for you.
No, I
But
get that, but you want to order for her on the first date.
yeah, because here's why. I've scoped out, I've taken her to a good place. I know the place. I'm not taking her to a place that I don't think it's good. So another rule, take her to a place that you know it's good. Do you agree
No,
with that?
that's good. How fancy is the place?
It's not that fancy.
Okay.
I'm not proposing.
Right. So,
But
you
it's
still
not,
want to order
but it's
for
not,
her.
It's not In-N-Out Burger.
But you still want to order for her.
Yeah, I would want to, and I would want to be like, I think that if it shows that I've done preparation for the date.
Okay, I don't think you should order for the girl. I think what you should do is let her see the menu because I think girls, oftentimes, girls love food. And they want to look through the menus options and see what appeals to them. And then you can ask and be like, what do you think looks good? And then you can make recommendations to them. And then when the person comes, of course, you can speak for the both of you. But I don't think you should be like, yeah, even if you're nice about it, like, let me order, here, this is what
Oh,
you
okay,
want.
okay.
I
Let
don't
me
think you should do
backtrack.
that.
Let me backtrack. I just want to assert that I want to like let me recommend things for you. Like recommend. Like this. That's what I mean. I don't mean like, hey, I'm gonna order for you. I mean that you've done the research. You've gone on Yelp. You've gone on whatever. Oh, by the way, if you guys are looking for Chinese restaurants, you got to watch our guide. Don't take her to an Americanized Chinese restaurant, anyways. So like I've done the research. I know what's good. So I want to be like, hey, I want to be the one to be like, oh, by the way, I read or I've tried or I think these are really good. That shows that you're prepared.
Sure.
That's my point.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now you're on the date.
Right.
One more thing you gotta do before all this, actually, compliment her. First date.
Oh, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
When do you throw in the first compliment?
When you first meet.
Okay.
No?
No, I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing.
When do you throw in that compliment?
I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to think. I would say right when you open the door. And
When you meet for the first time.
she's coming to the car.
And you're like, oh, you look beautiful tonight.
Right. You look. Yeah. But what? Okay, I'm thinking because a lot of times, sometimes like you don't get this, like the effect is different. Like let's say like when you get out of the car, like here's let me give you another scenario.
Okay.
Instead of doing it right when she gets out of the car, because it's kind of like that's kind of standard, right? But what if you pull the element of surprise and after you get out of the car to go to the restaurant and when you see her take off the coat in the restaurant, taking off the coat, full body with the coat, then
why
you
is she
say,
wearing a coat?
okay, what you know what I mean? Like you see the whole thing, and then
No,
you say,
th-
by the
that's
way,
when you see the whole thing when she was walking towards you.
I know, but I feel like I would say it at the restaurant, like, by the way, you look great tonight. I'm not gonna do it right off the bat.
All right, here's what I would do.
Right.
I would do the whole like I would think if I see the girl, she's dressed up.
Right.
I think my initial reaction, I can't hide that.
Okay.
So when I first see her and she looks beautiful,
Right.
I'm gonna be like a little taken aback. So I'm be like, oh,
wow.
I just want to say, wow, you really look awesome tonight.
All right, I like your style. This is the thing. Everything you're saying, I'm agree with. I like it because it's like what you see is what you get.
Right.
I'm a little more
Planned out.
yeah.
Okay.
Because sometimes when you compliment a girl right off the bat, she can be like, well, you say that to everybody. So I'm not saying I'm like pretending, but I think it's a better effect when I take her by surprise. I say, by the way, you look stunning tonight.
I think you think too much about
you
that.
okay.
I think you think too much.
But anyways,
too much, it's gonna come out rambling.
All right,
if you ever play
James
something out,
Bond now,
have
just
you ever play something out in your head and then like when it comes out, it sounds like total mush.
yo,
you're like thinking about this one sentence you're gonna say, and you're like, if let's say you're thinking about, I'm gonna tell her that she looks beautiful. Then when you try to say, you're like, hey, I just want to say.
I gotta say, we have to do a video about that. Like what you plan out in your mind about the first date, but then what actually you say. We gotta do that. So anyway, but we do agree, you have to compliment them.
Right.
You have to.
Okay, first date, do you share food?
I don't. Yeah, in terms of sharing food, if she wants to share food, I'll share it.
Would you offer your food?
Yeah, definitely.
So when the food comes,
I would be very generous.
that's my tip to you guys. When
Very
the food
generous.
comes, when your food comes, offer. But would you like to try some?
But
You make sure you do that.
here's the thing. Before that, because people can be really picky when they eat. Okay, eating is they might have allergies. They might be like, they might just be like, I don't share food.
No, that's fine. No. I'm saying as the guy.
Yeah,
You
I
should
always
be
offer.
like, would you like to try some? This is delicious. Would you like to
Right.
try some?
In
If
other
she says
words-
no, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Don't be like Joey, my favorite character on Friends. I love that character, but the one thing that I've against Joey is he doesn't share food.
He doesn't share food.
Remember that episode?
No, he doesn't share food. at all.
Joey doesn't share
No.
food.
Yep. That's
Share
bad.
food.
You should share food. You should take that as a good sign. If she's willing to eat off your plate,
Yeah.
I mean, she kind of likes you a little at least.
Now, if she takes your plate and licks up all the sauce and gives it back to you,
Then it's time for the date to end.
Alright.
Check. One thing is really important. Pay for the date.
oh yeah,
You make sure you pay for the date, guys.
guys,
Don't be a cheapo.
and I can't emphasize enough. Women look at all the details, meaning that how much preparation. Make sure if it's a cash only place, make sure you have cash. I know it's a short walk to the ATM, but it just looks bad on your first date. Oh yeah, it's cash only. Hold on, I'll be back.
Yeah, make sure your card works.
Make sure your card works. Make sure you got a backup. Make sure you got enough cash. Come on, because the worst thing is.
Well, let me ask you this. In How I Met Your Mother,
Okay.
Ted Mosby has this thing about when he's paying for the date, he wants the girl to also reach for the check. He doesn't want her to pay.
Oh.
He wants her to reach for the check.
I don't care. Why? I'm paying for the date. I don't need. Because here's the thing. He wants to see like, is she willing to pay for the date?
Yes.
I'm old school. Look, I asked you out. You can offer. I don't care. I'm gonna say no. I'm paying for it.
Does that make you
No, it
feel like the
doesn't.
girl is a better person because of that?
Doesn't indicate at all.
Okay.
What type of person she is.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
But I think girls, it's not a bad thing if you did that. Because here's the thing.
Okay.
Here's why. You can also test a guy. Not a test, but you can also see if the guy would actually let you do that.
What if he says okay?
Then don't date him again. Because first date, the guy should just pay for the date.
Mike, but here's the thing. What if in his mind he's like, hey, I'll do what she wants. He's just being nice.
No,
That's what I'm saying. Don't.
Here's what a good guy is.
Yeah.
You offer to pay for half. He doesn't let you.
Ideally.
At all. He never
Ideally.
lets. He's just like, if it was me, it'd be like, okay, no, are you kidding? No, never. Let me take care of this. If the guy lets you, I think you need to rethink the second date.
Right.
Also, I want to say, if you have a potty mouth, either one of you, leave the potty mouth outside.
Great point. Great point. Yeah, it's unattractive to me for both sexes.
Yeah. Let me tell you guys one thing not to do.
Okay.
Never do this. Leave your phones off in your pockets, whatever. Don't check it.
Thank
Do
you.
not check
oh
it.
my God. Please, if you're a guy or a girl,
Don't
okay?
do this. This annoys both sexes to no end.
This is one me and you's biggest pet peeve. Like you're trying to talk to me, ask me questions, and I'm like texting.
Yeah. Every 10 minutes I see you grab your phone. Like
Yeah, or like even unless if you're gonna do it, like unless you like tell the guy beforehand. It's like, by the way, I'm really sorry, but I gotta check my phone tonight a couple times because there's a really important email from my boss. You'd be like, no problem. But if you just reach over and it's like, I just got a text, like, that's the rudest thing you can do.
Don't do that. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
First dates. Do you kiss on the first date?
No. Do you? No, really? Yeah, see? No, I don't. Because I just don't think so.
What if the girl asks you?
They won't.
Can I give you a kiss? Let's say that happens.
They're not gonna do that. What girl asks a guy? What girl asks a guy to kiss them on the first date?
Happened to me.
No way. No.
Happened to me. Okay, I don't usually kiss on the first date. I don't. But I don't make it a policy to like not kiss on the first date.
All right.
Like, okay, so I was on a date. The girl said at the end of the date, she said, "I had a really good time. Can I give you a kiss?"
Could she give you a kiss?
She gave me a kiss. And what am I gonna say? No?
I would be floored. I'd be sure, of course. I'd be like, sure.
Give me a kiss.
But I'd be like,
but I would never expect a kiss on the first date.
Don't tell
Never shake hands on a date. Or girls. Don't, oh, come on, that's the most awkward thing. Hey, thanks for coming. Here's your rose. Don't shake hands on a date.
Definitely drive her home. Come on, fellas.
Or walk her home. Even if you're in the city, like you might not meet when you're together initially, but you walk her home. Now, the first date is over. When do you call her again? Or contact her again?
I gotta think about this one for a second.
I got an answer for you right now.
Because
you make the contact that night. Here's what you do. Okay, first date's over. You walk her home. As you're walking home yourself, maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes later, text her or something and say, "Had a great time. It's beautiful. Hopefully we can do this again." Or you know, something that indicates that you had a good time to her.
Yep, I agree. I wouldn't do it with it. I would do it later the night.
Well, let's say it's already midnight. You don't want to disrupt her when she's going to bed.
Right.
But so you do it like, you know, pretty soon after you leave because she's still thinking about you. When she gets that text, she's going to feel really, really good about you. Okay, so that's our advice for first dates. Again, Team Mike, Team Dan, let us know which side you're on in terms of the flowers or anything else we talked about. All right, guys, next up is our rapid fire segment. I'm going to get my stopwatch ready for this one.
You remember like when you played video games and they first had that controller where you could hold the button down and it does the rapid? Remember that? You don't remember that? The turbo controller?
Oh yeah.
Right? Yeah. Because before you had to do the cheat finger?
What you do is you use it for Street Fighter. You turn it on for Chun-Li or Yi Hong.
Yeah, that's cheating. Yeah, cheating. If you played with me, I'd be like, you can't use that controller.
I'd be like, jump slap and then 1,000-hand slap.
Yeah, I wouldn't let you play. I would take away the controller. That's cheating.
You.
Oh man, you're a cheater.
Whatever. It's called strategy.
Oh, okay.
All right, 60 seconds on the clock for me. If you found the city of gold, El Dorado, what would you do? Go.
I don't know. I would try to find a way to, because I discovered it, all right? And it's a mystical city.
You're wandering around in a jungle. You accidentally stumbled upon it. Right. What would you do?
I'm a pretty fair guy. I would probably do what, you remember that movie National Treasure?
Yes. He gets 10%, right?
Yeah. I would want a percentage, but I wouldn't call everybody. In today's social media world, like people are going to find out. I'll call the government and be like, yo, I found this.
What? Who are you calling in the government?
I don't know, but
There's no hotline for reporting treasures.
First of all, I cover it up. I don't tell anybody.
You cover what up? It's a city.
I know. I
covered it up with some leaves?
No. Like I must have went through a passage.
You were walking around in the jungle. You stumbled upon it.
I make sure somehow I get my cut. Okay, I don't know how. I don't know. What would you do? I don't know yet.
I would just like take a chair. I was like, take it out of the jungle.
You would take one thing and just leave all the rest?
Yeah, I'll leave all the rest, and I'll come back for the rest.
All right, I would take something. Yeah, I would take something. I wouldn't take a chair. I'd find like a giant gem. I'd just be like,
there's no gem. It's a city of gold.
Oh, made of gold?
No gem.
Right. Assuming the zombie apocalypse happened tomorrow.
Yes.
All right? It's happening. I'm telling you it's happening.
Yeah.
Which movie would you rather live in? Like, which movie would you pick to be the reality? And you can't pick the Zombieland movie because that was like a comedy. So of all the zombie movies, which one would you live in?
Okay, go.
Yeah. Nah.
Can I pick a TV show? No.
No, the movie.
Okay, I would do zombie apocalypse. Or what's that? what's that movie called? Shoot, with
The Legend?
no, with the Mia, what's her name?
Oh, Resident Evil?
Resident Evil.
That one?
Yeah, I would pick that one.
Okay, why?
Because man, those zombies are kind of slow.
Okay.
They're kind of slow. You're just kind of wandering around.
Right. This is
Kinda
what I'm
slow.
thinking too. I'm picking the one with the slowest
Yeah.
zombies.
Plus, you got
Yeah.
these like kind of crazy group of people that like fights and they're all kind of cool.
I would do I'm Legend.
You would?
I
Dude,
would.
those zombies are fast.
No.
You would die.
No, those zombies, the first, only in the dark.
Yeah.
But
What,
in the
you don't think
sunlight,
they'll never get dark?
yeah, like Will Smith, he goes.
You think you can design a Kevlar apartment
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
You can't
I would
do that.
Because
You would-
the other ones, they're too like World War Z.
World War Z is too much.
I would
That's
not.
too scary.
I would not be in World War
But
Z.
come on, the I Am Legend zombies are insanely fast.
No, but there's a period of time where I'm chilling with my dog in New York City. I want that one.
You can't build a armored apartment.
If I'm the only one in New York City, I'm gonna build some stuff.
Whatever.
I'm gonna Thomas Edison that stuff.
All right, my question to you: who would win in a fight, vampires or werewolves? Go.
I think vampires would win.
Why?
I don't have any like good answer. I just have a feeling like if I'm a like they're just more human. They know more. They're
Yeah, but
smarter.
like werewolves, I think they're more
Ferocious.
stronger.
But here's the thing. I feel like they're still beasts in that mode. So as a vampire, like I'm a human. Like I can outsmart you.
Yeah, but you got no weapons.
I can outsmart you.
Like with what? Like what are you gonna do? Like the
I know. I get a silver cannon. I'll kill you with it. Like,
where are you gonna get a silver cannon? Plus werewolves are super fast. What are you gonna do?
I just feel like I'm a human. Like
There's
I'm
no
just.
silver cannon.
I just feel like I can outsmart.
Also,
a werewolf.
silver hurts vampires, I think, as well.
No.
I think
No,
so.
That's the wrong legend.
What are you talking about?
No, it's
silver.
wood,
Silver cross.
No, silver cross.
In Dracula 2000, vampires were scared of silver.
Oh, okay. Dracula 2000 said it, so that's right. I don't think they're scared of
just saying.
silver, bro.
Just saying.
This goes back to our dating segment.
Okay.
If you had a daughter,
Yeah.
when do you think is the right time for her to start dating?
60 seconds, go. Never. She will never date as long as I'm alive. And when I'm dead and buried, go ahead. Go ahead. You can start.
So she'll be 50, 60,
Fine.
70, and yeah.
That's
so,
all right.
Yeah. No, realistically though. Realistically. Like
After high school, probably.
so college.
After college. After college.
No!
After college.
You will ruin her life.
I will keep her from
No.
the horribleness that is men.
I think realistically, I would let him date toward the end of high school. But like
after college.
But like
After
control.
college. See, I'm gonna be like the typical Asian parent. No dating in school.
No, they'll hit you. They'll
And
hit you.
as soon as you start working, you can date. And I want you to
Yep.
be married and have a kid within a year.
All our viewers are saying now, I don't want Mike as a dad. Like they're gonna hate you. I will let them date at the end of high school, but it would be very controlled. I'll go on the date with them.
You can't go.
I'm going.
They're gonna hate me.
Fathers do
You're
that
gonna go
all
on a
the
date with them. They're
time.
gonna hate you.
I won't go with them. I will drive her and him to the date. I will wait in the parking lot.
Whatever.
You guys can go to Pizza Hut. Then I drive him back.
All right, 60 seconds for you. Favorite childhood toy? Go.
Oh, it was a toss-up. Okay, I loved my action figures and my video games. And I would say action figures.
Which ones?
Actually, you know what? Scratch that. My favorite, it was definitely Legos. Legos. Because I remember
You could afford Legos.
I had, dude, you couldn't? I had Legos.
afford Legos.
Dude, I had Legos. I had action figures. I was a toy monster. I had like Connect 4. I had like
You
board
weren't
games.
a cookie monster?
No, but Legos, here's why. Because Legos was the ultimate imagination. Like if I build something, if I don't like it, I destroy it and build it again. That was my mom could tell you, I literally would spend 4 hours alone with my Legos. It was
You
a
know
weird
what
thing.
I miss my Transformers.
Oh, see, here's the thing.
I missed them.
I never had
I would still
Transformers.
play them with them right now.
But see, you're saying I could afford Legos. Transformers were expensive
No.
toys.
I bought Transformers at the flea market.
No, you didn't. Do you still have them? They can be.
don't have 'em.
You know they're worth money, right?
Really? I
Yeah.
don't have them anymore.
Oh man. So we all know that Virgin is coming out with the see-through bottom plane, and some are coming out with the whole panorama opening, like the whole scenic, the whole plane without walls.
Sure.
Would you ride in it?
60 seconds, go. Yeah, why not?
Really?
Why wouldn't you?
Afraid of heights?
Who's afraid of heights? You?
Are you kidding me? I'm on the plane looking down.
Why not?
That's too much for me.
Why not?
I want to feel safe. I would feel unsafe.
I
I would feel unsafe. I want to be.
I would want to see things and have a panoramic view of everything that's around me, which is awesome. You know what? You know what else I'm gonna do?
What's that?
I'm gonna lay on the ground and go like this and pretend I'm Superman. That's what I would do.
I think it would really scare me, but I think that what you bring up definitely appeals to me. Is like, what if you're going over? But here's the thing: you're so high up, you don't see anything. You don't see anything. You know how high up you are? Usually, when a plane, it reaches a certain height, and all you see is clouds, so you see nothing.
Will you pass by the mountains? When I fly over the Grand Canyon, I can see it.
Barely.
What do you mean barely?
It has to be. It has to be coming down. Okay, here's another thing too. If I want to go to sleep, it's too bright.
I'm sure there's a solution for that on the plane.
What? What?
Yo, they
Like
give
a-
you like a
like-
mask. Just wear your mask.
I wouldn't do it. Fly a
I
plane.
would do it. Why
It's
not?
just transportation.
It's awesome when that's.
What's next? A see-through bottom train? Oh, you see some
Why not?
railroad tracks.
I don't care. I'll do it. All right, guys. That's it for our Double Chin show. Thanks so much for watching. See you later.
Peace.